All right. Good afternoon, Mishpachah. Shalom. This is Brother Moshe coming for an afternoon live stream. Coming for an afternoon live stream. I'm going to be reading the testament of Yahudah or Judah, which is the fourth son of Jacob and Leah. Yahudah or Judah, he was the fourth son, the progenitor of the fourth tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel. Judah is the well-known where all tribes are well-known. But Judah is the most talked about because Judah is part of the southern kingdom, apart with Benjamin and a remnant of Levi. Those three make up the southern kingdom. And the northern kingdom is led by Ephraim, But mainly you hear about Judah, because Judah is the royal tribe and the royal that's where the royal lineage comes from, Judah. The Messiah comes from Judah. All the kings of Israel came from the line of Judah. The lineage of Judah. But yeah, I got I'm reading out of the Testaments of the Patriarchs by R.H. Charles. If y'all want to know the book, I'm reading out of a book called The Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs. And it's written by R.H. Charles. I got it off of Amazon. Just putting that out there. So I'm going to read the Testament of Judah. Shalom, Sister Tanisha. Shalom. All praise to the Most High. I actually got the notification for this one. All praises, sister. Yeah, you got to click the notification bell. But sometimes when your subscribers click the notification bell, YouTube be funny. They unclick it or they don't let you know. YouTube be on their shady tactics and stuff. But let me would have been making videos about bug crap and all that. They would have probably let you get notified. But yeah, I'm gonna be reading the Testament of Judah out of the Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs by R.H. Charles. Okay, so here goes. The Testament of Judah, the fourth son of Jacob and Leah. Judah's mighty deeds. The copy of the words of Judah. What things he spake to his sons before he died. They gathered themselves together, therefore, and came to him. And he said to them, hearken, my children, to Judah your father. I was the fourth son born to my father Jacob, and Leah my mother named me Judah, saying, I give thanks to Yahudah, because he hath given me a fourth son also. I was swift in my youth and obedient to my father in everything, and I honor my mother and my mother's sisters. Or sister, yeah, and my mother's sister. And it came to pass, when I became a man, that my father blessed me, saying, thou shalt be a king, prospering in all things. And Yahudah showed me favor in all my works, both in the field and in the house. I know that I raised a hind or a deer, that's what a hind is, a deer or antelope, and caught it and prepared the meat for my father. And he did eat. And the roes I used to master in the chase and overtake all that was in the plains. A wild mare I overtook and caught it and tamed it. I slew a lion and plucked a kid out of its mouth. I took a bear by its paw and hurled it down the cliff, and it was crushed. I outran the wild boar and seasoned it as I ran. I tear it in sunder. A leopard in Hebron leapt upon my dog, and I caught it by the tail, and I hurled it on the rocks, and it was broken in twain. I found a wild ox feeding in the fields, and seizing it by the horns, and whirling it around, and stunning it, I cast it from me and slew it. And when the two kings of the Canaanites came, sheathed in armor against our flocks, and much people with them single-handed, I rushed upon the king of Hazor and smote him on the greaves, and drag him down. And so I slew him, and the other, the king of Tapua, as he sat upon his house. I mean, Salakia. Salakia. Let me read that again. And the other, the king of Tapua, as he sat upon his horse, I slew, and so I scattered all his people. Akor, the king, a man of giant stature, I found, hurling javelins before and behind as he sat on horseback. And I took up a stone of 60 pounds weight and hurled it and smote his horse and killed it. And I fought with this other for 2 hours. And I clave his shield in twain, and I chopped off his feet and killed him. And as I was stripping off the breastplate, behold, 9 men, his companions, began to fight with me. And I wound my garment on my hand, and I slung stones at them, and killed 4 of them, and the rest fled. And Jacob my father slew Beelzebub, king of all the kings, a giant in strength, 12 cubits high, and fear fell upon them, and they ceased warring against us. Therefore my father was free from anxiety in the wars, when I was with my brethren. For he saw in a vision concerning me that an angel of might follow me everywhere, that I should not be overcome. And in the south there came upon us a greater war, that in Shechem, and I joined in battle array with my brethren, and pursued 1,000 men, and slew of them 200 men and 4 kings. And I went up upon the wall, and I slew 4 mighty men. And so we captured Hazor and took all the spoil. And so Judah had many mighty deeds so far. He did that was some heroic stuff he did, some superhero type stuff, spiritual power, because the powers that be read this. That's when and got inspired to make all these superheroes and stuff in the Marvel and DC universe. They got it from our ancestors. Real talk. But let me continue reading the Testament of Judah. Okay. On the next day, we departed to Araton, a city strong and walled and inaccessible, threatened us with death. But I and Gad approached on the east side of the city, and Reuben and Levi on the west. And they that were upon the wall, thinking that we were alone, were drawn down against us. And so my brothers secretly climbed up the wall on both sides by stakes and entered the city, while the men knew it not. And we took it with the edge of the sword. And as for those who had taken refuge in the tower, we set fire to the tower and took both it and them. And as we were departing, the men of Tapua seized our spoil. And seeing this, we fought with them, and we slew them all, and recovered all. And let me read that again. And we slew them all and recovered our spoil. So they got all their stuff back. They wouldn't get all their stuff they took from them back, like some warriors. That's what's up. All right, next part. And when I was at the waters of Kozeba, the men of Jobel came against us to battle, and we fought with them and routed them. And their allies from Shiloh we slew, and we did not leave them power to come in against us. And the men of Machir came upon us the 5th day to seize our spoil, and we attacked them and overcame them in fierce battle. For there was a host of mighty men amongst them, and we slew them before they had gone up the ascent. And when we came to their city, a woman rolled upon us stones from the brow of the hill on which the city stood. And I and Simon or Simeon, I and Simeon had hid ourselves behind the town and seized upon the heights and destroyed this city also. And the next day it was told us that the king of the city of Gash with a mighty host was coming against us. I, therefore, and Dan feigned ourselves to be Amorites. And as allies, we went into their city. And in the depth of the night, our brethren came and we opened to them the gates. And we destroyed all the men and their substance. And we took for a prey all that was theirs. And they 3 walls we cast down. And we drew near to Damna, where was all the substance of the hostile kings. Then being insulted by them, I was therefore wroth and rushed against them to the summit. And they kept slinging against me stones and darts. And had not Dan, my brother, aided me, they would have slain me. When came upon them, therefore with wrath, and they all fled. And passing by another way, they besought my father, and he made peace with them. And when we did to them no hurt, and they became tributary to us, and we restored to them their spoil. And I built Damnah, and my father built Rebel. I was 20 years old when this war befell. Man, he was young. He wasn't even 21 yet. 20 years old when he did all them feats. So when he was a teenager, he did all them epic feats, like wrestling animals and slaying wild beasts. Yeah, he was a youth, and he just 20 and accomplished all that. That's a lot of feats, And you best believe all these so-called mythologies probably was inspired by our ancestors' history. And they just converted into their mythologies and put their face on it. Instead of pitting melanated people, they're gonna put their faces on it. But okay, let me continue. Where was I? I don't want to get sidetracked here. All righty. And the Canaanites feared me and my brethren. And I had much cattle. And I had for chief herdsmen around the Adulamite. And when I went to him, I saw Barshaba, king of Adulam. And he spake unto us, and he made us a feast. And when I was heated, he gave me his daughter, Bathshua, to wife. She bare me and Onan and Selah, and 2 of them Yahudah smote. For Selah lived, and his children are ye. That's the next part. The conflict between Jacob and Esau. In 18 years, my father abode at peace with his brother Esau and his sons with us. After that, we came from Mesopotamia, from Laban. And when 18 years were fulfilled in the 40th year of my life, Esau, the brother of my father, came upon us with a mighty and strong people. And Jacob smote Esau with an arrow, and he was taken up wounded on Mount Seir. And as he went, he died at Anaram. And we pursued after the sons of Esau. Now they had a city with walls of iron and gates of brass, and we could not enter into it. And we encamped around and besieged it. And when they opened not to us in 20 days, I set up a ladder in the sight of all, and with my shield upon my head, I went up, sustaining the assaults of stones, upwards of 3 talents weight, and I slew 4 of their mighty men, and Reuben and Gad slew 6 others. Then they asked for us terms of peace, and having taken counsel with our father, we received them as tributaries, and they gave us 500 cores of wheat 500 baths of oil, 500 measures of wine, until the famine, when we went down into Egypt. The story of Tamar. And after these things, my sons took wife Tamar from Mesopotamia, a daughter of Aram. Now was wicked, and he was in need concerning Tamar, because she was not of the land of Canaan. And on the third night, an angel of Yahudah smote him, and he had not known her according to the evil craftiness of his mother, for he did not wish to have children by her. In the days of the wedding feast, I gave Onan to her in marriage, and he also in wickedness knew her not, though he spent with her a year. And when I threatened him, he went in unto her, but he spilled the seed on the ground, according to the command of his mother. And he also died through wickedness. And I wish to give Shelah also to her. But his mother did not permit it, for she wrought evil against Tamar, because she was not of the daughters of Canaan, and she also herself was. And I knew that the race of the Canaanites were wicked. But the impulse of youth blinded my mind. And when I saw her pouring out wine on to the intoxication of wine, was I deceived, and took her, although my father had not counseled it. And when I was awake, she went and took for Shelah a wife from Canaan. And when I knew what she had done, I cursed her in the anguish of my soul. And she also died through her wickedness together with her sons. And after these things, while Tamar was a widow, she heard after 2 years that I was gone up to shear my sheep, and adorned herself in bridal array, and sat in the city of Anaim by the gate. For it was a law of the Amorites that she who was about to marry should sit in fornication 7 days by the gate. Therefore, being drunk with wine, I did not recognize her, and her beauty deceived me through the fashion of her adorning. And I turned aside to her and said, Let me go in unto thee. And she said, What wilt thou give me? And I gave her my staff and my girdle and the diadem of my kingdom in pledge. And I went in unto her, and she conceived, and not knowing what I had done, wished to slay her, but she privily sent my pledges and put me to shame. And when I called her, I heard also the secret words which I spoke when laying with her in my drunkenness. And I could not slay her, because it was from Yahudah. For I said, Lest happily she did it, and subtly, having received the pledge from another woman. But I came not again near her while I lived, because I had done this abomination in all Israel. Moreover, they who were in the city said that there was no harlot in the gate, because she came from another place and sat for a while in the gate. And I thought that no one knew that I had gone in unto her. And after this, we came into Egypt to Joseph, because of the famine. And I was 46 years old. He was 46. And 73 years lived I in Egypt. Okay, next part. Judah warns his sons against drunkenness, fornication, and the love of money. And now I command you, my children, hearken to Judah your father, and keep my sayings, to perform all the ordinance of Yahudah, and to obey the commands of Yah, and walk not after your lusts, nor in the imaginations of your thoughts, and haughtiness of heart, and glory not in the deeds and strength of your youth. For this also is evil in the eyes of Yahudah. Since I also gloried that in walls no comely woman's face ever enticed me, and reproved Reuben my brother concerning Bilhah, the wife of my father. The spirits of jealousy and of fornication arrayed themselves against me until I laid with Bashur the Canaanite and Tamar, who was espoused to my sons. For I said to my father-in-law, I will take counsel with my father, and so will I take thy daughter. And he was unwilling, but he showed me a boundless store of gold in his daughter's behalf. In his daughter's behalf, for he was a king, and he adored her with gold and pearls, and caused her to pour out wine for us at the feast, with the beauty of woman. And the wine turned aside my eyes, and pleasure blind my heart, and I became enamored of, and I laid with her, and transgressed the commandment of Yahudah, and the commandment of my fathers. And I took her to wife. And Yahudah rewarded me according to the imagination of my heart, inasmuch as I had no joy in her children. And now, my children, I say unto you, be not drunk with wine, for wine turneth the mind away from the truth, and inspires the passion of lust, and leadeth the eyes into error. For the spirit of fornication hath wine as a minister to give pleasure to the mind. But these two also take away the mind of a man. For if a man drink wine to drunkenness, it disturbeth the mind with filthy thoughts, leading to fornication, and heateth the body to carnal union. And if the occasion of the lust be present, he worketh the sin, and is not ashamed. Such is the inebriated man, my children. But he who is drunken reverence no man. For lo, it made me also to err, so that I was not ashamed of the multitude in the city, and that before the eyes of all I turned aside unto Tamar, and I wrought a great sin, and I uncovered the covering of my son's shame. After I had drunk wine, I reverenced not the commandment of Yah, and I took a woman of Canaan to wife. For much discretion needeth the man who drinketh wine, my children. And herein, in discretion in drinking wine. A man may drink so long as he preserve modesty, meaning drink responsibly. So you see, you could tell him you could drink, but you got to drink responsibly. Okay, verse 8. But if he go beyond this limit, the spirit of deceit attacketh his mind, and it make the drunkard to talk filthy, and to transgress, and not to be ashamed, but even to glory in his shame, and account himself honorable. He that committeth fornication is not aware when he suffers loss, and is not ashamed when put to dishonor. For even through a man be a king and commit fornication, he is stripped of his kingship by becoming the slave of fornication, as I myself also suffered. For I gave my staff, that is, the state of my tribe, and my girdle, that is my power, and my diadem, that is the glory of my kingdom. And indeed I repented of these things. Wine and flesh I eat not until my old age, nor did I behold any joy. And the angel of Yahudah showed me that forever do women bear rule over king and beggar alike. And from the king they took away his glory, and from the valiant man his might, and from the beggar even that little which is the state of his poverty. Mm. Observe, therefore, my children, the right limit in wine, for there are in it four evil spirits of lust, hot desire, of profligacy, of filthy lucre. If you drink wine in gladness, be ye modest with the fear of Yahudah. For if in your gladness the fear of Yahudah departeth, then drunkenness ariseth, and shamelessness stealeth in. But if you will live soberly, do not touch wine at all, lest you sin in words of outrage, and in fightings, and slanders, and transgressions of the commandments of Yahudah, and you perish before your time. Moreover, wine revealeth the mysteries of Yah in men, even as I also revealeth the commandments of Yah and the mysteries of Jacob, my father, to the Canaanitish woman Bathsheba, which Yah bade me not to reveal. And wine is a cause both of war and confusion. And now I command you, my children, not to love money, nor to gaze upon the beauty of women, because for the sake of money and beauty I was led astray to Bathsheba the Canaanite. For I know that because of these two things shall my race fall into wickedness. For even wise men among my sons shall there mar, and shall cause the kingdom of Judah to be diminished, which Yahudah gave me because of my obedience to my father. For I never caused grief to Jacob, my father. For all things whatsoever he commanded, I did. And Isaac, the father of my father, blessed me to be king in Israel. And Jacob further blessed me in like manner. And I know that for me shall the kingdom be established. And I know what evils ye will do in the last days. He prophesizing about his descendants. That goes all the way up to this day. Khan, you can't be alcoholic. It makes you error in your judgment and strips you of the knowledge of the word. Exactly, sister. Exactly. Yep, that's right. And I know what evils you will do in the last days. Beware, therefore, my children. Notification, I clicked it off. Okay, let me start over. It says, beware, therefore, my children, of fornication and the love of money, and hearken to Judah, your father. For these things withdraw you from the law of Yah, and blind the inclination of the soul, and teach arrogance, and suffer not a man to have compassion upon his neighbor. They rob his soul of all goodness, and oppress him with toils and troubles, and drive away sleep from him, and devour his flesh. And he hindereth the sacrifice of Yah, and he remembereth not the blessings of Yah. He hearkeneth not to a prophet when he speaketh, and resenteth the words of godliness. For he is a slave to two contrary passions, and cannot obey Yah, because they have blinded his soul. And he walketh in the day as in the night. My children, the love of money leadeth to idolatry, because when led astray through money, men name as gods those who are not gods, and it causeth him who hath it to fall into madness. Man, that's deep. That's deep. Man, Patriarch Judah, man, he know what he was hitting on. I gotta read that again because that hit home towards the modern days. My children, the love of money leadeth to idolatry, because when led astray through money, men name as gods those who are not gods, and it caused him who have it to fall into madness. Think about your modern day celebrities and entertainers and these sports athletes. They got so much money, but they miserable. They falling into madness. And they fans look at them as gods, but they not gods. They people just like me and you. You know, they false gods. And they got so much wealth and fame, they drive them into madness because they handle us into the wickedness. You know, all they handlers in Hollywood and producers, they into the wickedness. But let me continue reading. For the sake of money, I lost my children and had not my repentance and my humiliation, and the prayers of my father been accepted. I should have died childless, but Yah of my fathers had mercy on me because I did it in ignorance. And the prince of deceit blinded me, and I was ignorant as a man and as flesh, being corrupted through sins. And I learned my own weakness while thinking myself invincible. The spirits that wait upon man. Know, therefore, my children, that two spirits wait upon men, or man, the spirit of truth and the spirit of deceit. And in the midst is the spirit of the understanding of the mind, to which it belongeth to turn whithersoever it will. And the works of truth and the works of deceit are written upon the hearts of men, and each one of them Yahudah knoweth. And there is no time at which the works of men can be hid, for on the heart itself have they been written down before Yahudah. And the spirit of truth testifieth all things, and accuseth all, and the sinner is burnt up by his own heart, and cannot raise his face to the judge. The Levitical priesthood in the kingdom of Yahudah or Judah. And now, my children, I command you, love Levi, that ye may abide in, exalt not yourselves against him, lest you be utterly destroyed. For to me, Yahudah gave the kingdom, and to him the priesthood, and he set the kingdom beneath the priesthood. To me, he gave the things upon the earth, to him the things in the heaven. As the heaven is higher than the earth, so is the priesthood of Yah higher than the earthly kingdom, unless it falleth away. Unless it falleth away through sin from Yahudah and is dominated by the earthly kingdom. But the angel of Yahudah said unto me, Yahudah chose him rather than thee to draw near to him and to eat of his table and to offer him the first fruits of the choice things of the sons of Israel. But thou shalt be a king of Jacob. Turmoil in the last times. Now you're talking about what's going to befall in the modern times, the last days, which we are currently riding out now. So let's see, turmoil in the last times. And thou shalt be amongst them as the sea, for as on the sea, just and unjust are tossed about, some taken into captivity, while some are enriched. So also shall every race of men be in thee. Some shall be impoverished, being taken captive, and others grow rich by plundering the possessions of others. For the kings shall be as sea monsters. They shall swallow men like fishes. The sons and daughters of freemen shall they enslave. Houses, lands, flocks, money shall they plunder. And with the flesh of many shall they wrongfully feed the ravens and the cranes. And they shall advance in evil and covetousness uplifted. And they shall be false prophets like tempests. And they shall persecute all righteous men. And Yahudah shall bring upon them divisions, one against each other. And they shall be continual wars in Israel, and among men of another race shall my kingdom be brought to an end, until the salvation of Israel shall come, until the appearing of Yah of righteousness, that Jacob and all the Gentiles may rest in peace. Let me read that again for those who want to say salvation is just for Israel. It says, until the salvation of Israel shall come, until the appearing of Yah of righteousness, that Jacob, meaning Israel, and what? It means that Jacob, Israel, which is us, we the descendants of Israel, that Jacob and all the Gentiles may rest in peace. And he shall guard the might of my kingdom forever. For Yahudah swear to me with an oath that he will not destroy the kingdom from my seed forever. Okay, next part. The sins of Israel, regeneration in the Messianic era. Now I have much grief, my children, because of your lewdness and witchcraft and idolatries, which you shall practice against the kingdom, following them that have familiar spirits, diviners, and demons of error. You shall make your daughters singing girls and harlots, and you shall mingle in the abominations of the Gentiles, for which things sake Yahudah shall bring upon you famine and pestilence, death, and the sword, beleaguering by enemies, and revelings of friends, the slaughter of children, the rape of wives, the plundering of possessions, the burning of the temple of God, the laying waste of the land, the enslavement of yourselves amongst the Gentiles, and they shall make some of you eunuchs for their wives. Talk about humiliation, man, being a eunuch. Until Yahudah visit you, when until Yahudah visit you, when with perfect heart ye repent and walk in all his commandments, and he shall bring you up from captivity among the Gentiles. And after these things shall a star arise to you from Jacob in peace, and a man shall arise from my seed, like the Son of righteousness, walking with the sons of men in meekness and righteousness, and no sin shall be found in him. And the heavens shall be opened up unto him to pour out the Spirit, even the blessing of the Holy Father. And he shall pour out the Spirit of grace upon you, and ye shall be upon him sons in truth, and ye shall walk in his commandments first and last. This branch of God most high, and this fountain giving life unto all. Then shall the scepter of my kingdom shine forth, and from your root shall rise a stem, and from it shall grow a rod of righteousness to the Gentiles, to judge and to save all that call upon the name of Yahudah, to judge and to save all that call upon the name of Yahudah or the Lord. Just putting that out there, making it clear. You know, all can call on the name of Yahudah. It don't matter if you Israelite or Gentile. If you doing righteousness, you doing the right thing, you could call on the name of the Most High or the Lord. He will heal you. He will uplift you. So miss me with that foolishness about Gentiles can't call on the name of the Lord. You know, the Most High could use anybody he wants because he's in control. Now let me continue reading this great story or history of our ancestors, Yahudah or Judah. You know, the founding father of the tribe of Yahudah. But okay, let me that's right. Yeah, that's right, sister. 100. All praise to the Most High. Hallelujah. Okay, let's see. All right, the testaments of, let me continue. And after these things shall Abraham and Isaac and Jacob arise unto life, and I and my brethren shall be chiefs of the tribes of Israel. Levi first, I the second, Joseph the third, Benjamin the fourth, Simeon fifth, Issachar sixth, and so all in order. And Yahuwah blessed Levi, and the angel of the presence, me, the powers of glory. Simeon the heaven, Reuben the earth, Issachar the sea. Wait, let's see. Hold on, let me start over. And Yahuwah blessed Levi, and the angel of presence, me, the powers of glory, Simeon the heaven, Reuben the earth, Issachar the sea, Zebulun the mountains, Joseph the tabernacle, Benjamin the luminaries, Dan, Eden, Naphtali the sun, Gad the moon, Asher, the moon, Asher, and ye shall be the people of you should be the people of Yahuwah, and have one tongue, and there shall be there no spirit of the seat of Belor, for he shall be cast into the fire forever. And they who have died in grief shall arise in joy, and they who were poor from Yahuwah's sake shall be made rich, and they who are put to death for Yahuwah's sake shall awake to life. Talking about the first resurrection, those who died in righteousness or died for the sake of Yahuwah, they're gonna be resurrected in the first resurrection. All the saints, all the righteous saints and righteous Gentiles, they did the right thing. They're gonna be resurrected in the first resurrection. Okay, let me continue. And the hearts of Jacob shall run in joyfulness, and the eagles of Israel shall fly in gladness, and all the peoples shall glorify Yahuwah forever. Judah's last words to his sons, his death and burial. Observe, therefore, my children, all the law of Yahuwah, for there is hope for all them who hold fast unto his ways. And he said to them, behold, I died before your eyes this day, 119 years old. Let no one bury me in costly apparel, nor tear open my bowels. For this shall they who are kings do, and carry me up to Hebron with you. And Judah, when he had said these things, fell asleep, and his sons did according to all whatsoever he commanded them, and they buried him in Hebron with his fathers. Wow, so even on his deathbed, he was humble. He didn't want to be buried in no like expensive clothes. He just wanted to be buried like in probably regular garments. That's being humble. And then the royal seed came from him. He wants to be buried in, just like a commoner, you know, showing just to show you how much humble he was, in his last days as an older man. But yeah, that was a testament of Judah. I hope you enjoyed it. Decided to read the testament of Judah, but I advise, you see, this should be taught in every church, even the Sunday church. But these pastors, I know most of these pastors knows about this, but you see, if the pastors start teaching this in these Sunday churches, it's gonna wake them people up. It's gonna wake our people up for sure. Because when you read the Testament of Judah, you start to think about all the stuff he was telling his sons. You start thinking about so-called black people, our people, you know, because when we get that liquor in us, especially when the brothers get that liquor in them, and the women too, they get that liquor courage. They start talking crazy, start doing things they regret when they get sober, So all the stuff that Judah was speaking of to his sons, in the Testament of Judah, that could apply to us today. hmm Yeah, but definitely, oh yeah. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm about to probably end the stream because I got things to do. Probably gotta go cook. Gotta go cook me something. But yeah, I just want to come in the afternoon and read the Testament of Judah or Yahudah. Like I said, I hope it was well received. All praises to the Most High. Glory to the King Yahushua HaMashiach. Or those who know in the regular tongue, Jesus Christ. But I appreciate you for watching the stream, Occulted Tanisha Norwood. May the Most High continue to keep you uplifted. In the name of Yeshua, it's it's not only going to wake them up, but it's going to cost them money. Yep, all the patriarchs had great advice for our generation. Exactly. And then don't worry, I'm gonna read the other patriarchs too. I just wanted to start this one off with Judah, but I'm gonna definitely read the other patriarchs. And when I read them all, I'm gonna try to like have a series and put them together, on a playlist, for my channel. But yeah, but like I say, I appreciate you for watching the stream, and like I say, whenever I do future videos or streams, just check the notification bell. It's supposed to automatically notify you. It's supposed to automatically notify you. But all depending how if I'm not too busy later on, I might stream later on. I might stream later on. But like I said, yeah, okay, yeah, I might stream later on. Depending if I don't have too much stuff to do. But like I say, may the Most High bless you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And if it's Yah's will, I'll be back on later. Shalom.